Once upon a time in the ancient land of Greece, there lived a group of people who were like a big extended family. They didn't have the modern concept of a family as we do today. Instead, they were part of something called a gens, a unique kind of clan or tribe where everyone was connected, not just by blood, but by shared beliefs, traditions and responsibilities. The village of the gens. In a small village surrounded by olive trees and the shimmering blue sea, there lived a gens known as the Athenians. In this gens, every person belonged to a group that was like a huge family. They shared everything, food, land, and even their victories in battle. The elders told stories of how the gens was their protector and guide, almost like a guardian angel for everyone in the group. The family tree of the gens. Now, imagine a giant tree in the middle of the village. This tree represented the gens. The roots were the ancestors who had passed down their wisdom and traditions. The trunk was the current generation, holding everyone together with strength and unity. The branches were the children, who would one day grow up to continue the gens' legacy. One of the key beliefs of the gens was that everyone was connected. If someone in the gens faced a problem, everyone else would come together to help, just like how all the leaves on a tree share the same roots. This sense of unity made the gens strong and resilient. The special name of the gens. Every gens had a special name, often taken from a legendary ancestor. In our story, the Athenians' gens was named after a brave warrior named Athena. She was known for her wisdom and courage. The people believed that by carrying her name, they also carried her spirit. So even though Athena had lived long ago, her values and strength lived on in every member of the gens. Decisions made together. In the gens, important decisions were never made by just one person. If the villagers needed to decide whether to build a new house, plant more olive trees, or prepare for a festival, they would gather under the great tree in the village square. The elders, respected for their wisdom, would speak first, sharing what they had learned from their ancestors. Then everyone, even the youngest members, had the chance to share their thoughts. One day, the gens faced a difficult decision. A neighboring village, who was not part of their gens, needed help after a bad storm. The villagers had lost their homes and food. The Athenians gathered under their tree to discuss what to do. Some said they should keep their resources for themselves, as the winter was coming and they needed to be prepared. But others, remembering Athena's courage and kindness, argued that helping others was the right thing to do. In the end, they decided to help the neighboring village, sharing their food and helping rebuild their homes. This act of kindness brought the two villages closer, and soon they formed an alliance, promising to support each other in times of need. This decision showed the strength of the gens. By working together and making decisions as a community, they grew stronger and more united. The role of the gens in Greek society. The gens wasn't just about family, it was also about responsibility. Each member had a role to play, whether it was farming the land, protecting the village, or passing down stories and traditions to the next generation. This made the gens like a well-oiled machine, where everyone knew their part and worked together smoothly. Let's take the story of young Lyca, a boy in the gens. Lyca loved to run through the olive groves and climb the hills. One day, an elder told him, "Lyca, you are fast and strong. When you grow older, you will be a messenger for the gens. You will carry important news between villages." Lyca was proud to have such an important role, and he practiced running every day, knowing that one day he would help his gens in a big way. Importance of shared values. One of the most important things about the gens was that it taught everyone to live by certain values, like bravery, kindness, and loyalty. These values were like the roots of the great tree, holding everything together. When times were tough, the people of the gens would remember these values, just like how Lyca remembered his promise to help the gens by becoming a strong messenger. The legacy of the gens. As years passed, the gens continued to grow and thrive. The children became adults, took on new roles, and had children of their own. The tree in the village square grew taller and stronger, just like the gens. The traditions and values were passed down, ensuring that the spirit of the gens would live on for generations. And so, the story of the Greek gens is a story of unity, shared responsibility, and the power of working together. Just like the great tree that provided shade and shelter, The gens provided strength and support to all its members. It was more than just a family. It was a community bound by history, tradition, and the shared belief that together they were stronger. Key areas to remember: unity and shared responsibility. Just as the gens members work together to make decisions, everyone in a community should support each other, especially in times of need. Role of traditions. Like the tree's roots, traditions and values keep a community strong. Passing these down to the next generation ensures that the spirit of the community lives on. Importance of names. The name of the gens, like Athenians, wasn't just a label. It carried the spirit of their ancestors and reminded them of their values. By understanding these key areas, we learn that in ancient Greece, the gens was more than just a group of people. It was a living, breathing community that stood the test of time through unity, shared responsibility, and the strength of their traditions.